if you were a player on the Carolina Panthers and they made the decision to bench
Mhm.
Bryce Young, how would you react?
I mean, you got to roll with the next guy. People don't want to hear that, but that's how it is. If Bryce got hurt, we'll be saying the same thing. Who's the next guy up? Next man up is there. For whatever reason, we feel like that this situation is now all of a sudden that Bryce is done. I'm hearing everybody talk about he should be done, trade him. I think the fact that they sat him down, I think that's a good thing. And the reason why I believe that's a good thing is because this. If you see a young man sitting there and you throw him in the swimming pool and you see he's drowning a little bit, you don't remove him from the swimming pool and throw him in the ocean and say, oh, okay, with the bigger tides, he should be okay because he was drafted first overall. He should be fine. Or, hey, get rid of him. How about do what they're doing is allow him to sit back, evaluate, and then maybe train him and gradually put him back in there when he can also learn the game. He was a great processor in college. That's what got him drafted. That doesn't mean what you did in college, you're going to do that in the NFL because that's the level up. That's called advancing. That's why it's professionals and amateurs or collegiate. I know NIL makes people believe they're professionals, but guess what? There are 80 wide receivers next year's in that are trying to come out in next year's draft. There were, I believe, 27 wide receivers drafted. I'm no mathematician, but guess what? Not everybody's going to make it.
I'm fine with them benching him. And even using the word benching sounds rough. I think they're just replacing him, putting Andy Dalton in there. And it's hard for him. You get into bad habits, and it feels like he's a little, he wants to make a quick decision. He doesn't let a play kind of unfold. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. And I think sit him down for a little bit. Maybe he doesn't play for them, but I hope he gets another chance this season.
I agree. I think I don't know if giving him another chance this season only because if Andy Dalton does well and you've brought him in to help him, what if having a successful season or seeing someone else do it? Some people learn differently. Visual aids. Some people learn by example. Some people learn by watching other people do it. So sitting him down and letting him ride out the season and learning, and now he doesn't have the pressure on him. Maybe he'll learn some things. Maybe he'll see the game from a different perspective. And maybe he won't, but I'm pretty sure he will because when you think about it, this is probably the first time he's looked at the game from this position, which is the sideline with no injury. That's not a bad thing. Adversity is about dealing with some things that you don't see, and that's what makes football players, athletes, so much. We're intriguing because we can take a negative and turn it into a positive. If we're going to bench and say Bryce Young can never recover, does that mean some of these coaches who have been given a head coaching job maybe too early or a position too early in their career, does that mean that they never should get a job? Dan, you know this answer. No, that doesn't happen. So why does it happen with players, but yet we could give a guy a job in the NFL, NBA, they're too early, be terrible, god awful, and then a couple of months later he's at another place, worse, and then it takes him 3 or 4 times to realize maybe he's just a coordinator, not a head coach. That's just me.